Hello students, today we are going to start chapter 16 from your social studies textbook, Climate. Now, when we talk about climate, what comes to your mind? Is climate as same as weather? Yes or no? Let's see in this chapter. Climate is an average of atmospheric conditions over a long period. Generally, climate is determined from the average weather conditions of summer, winter, and rainy season of a place for about 35 years or more. In short, climate is an average of long-term atmospheric conditions. So what is a climate? Climate is a long-term atmospheric conditions. And then what is it? It is a atmospheric condition over a long period. It's not just we are talking about a day or 2 days weather or climate. We are talking about all this, that is about the air pressure and so on, not about just of the day but of the long term. Generally, climate is determined from the average weather conditions of summer, winter and rainy season of a place for about 35 years or more. So, suppose now you are born and brought up in Gujarat or in Mumbai, and your friend, suppose friend coming from abroad, maybe from Spain or America, ask you, what about the climate in Mumbai in June, July, August? He's coming over there for 3 months period. So when you talk about when he's going to stay there for 2 to 3 months or maybe 3 to 4 weeks, you will say the climate over here in month of July, August it's rainy season, and for you weather is good. Only the thing is that you will have to prepare, you have to come prepared with umbrella, raincoat or whatever it is. And so that is what you are talking about, because you know every year in June, July, August, September, at this time it rains in Mumbai. Sometimes you have heavy rains, and so, but that is a time, that is a climate in those months. But it may vary. Suppose on 24th of July it was raining heavily, 25th, 26th, 3-4 days continuously it was raining heavily, but on 28th of July it may not rain. It may be little pleasant day, no rain. You may see a day can be a bright day or a sunny day. And so, is that also a climate? That can be called as a weather of that particular day. And so, what is weather now? Weather is an average of short-term conditions of atmosphere. Whereas climate is a long-term atmospheric condition, but weather is a short-term conditions of atmosphere. Weather can change at any time during a day. Change in weather conditions depends on air temperature, air pressure, humidity, rain, fog, or amount of clouds, etc. Weather affects our daily agricultural activities. Indian Meteorological Department publishes a daily weather map and a report of the entire nation. Now, as I told you, climate is a long-term atmospheric condition, weather is a short-term condition of atmosphere. I told you weather of the day, it varies. In the morning, it may be the temperature may be suppose 28 or 29 degree. In the afternoon, it can be 31, 32. Again by evening, temperature may vary. But the weather is different from the climate. And so, Indian Meteorological Department publishes a daily weather map. Daily when you are out, suppose you want to go somewhere, you want to check whether it's going to rain tomorrow or no. Suppose it's a monsoon season and you want to see tomorrow what is the weather. You will see, it will show you the weather, whether it's raining or no. But does it mean that the climate is different? No, student. So the climate and weather are two different things, though they sound more or less same. And so the weather we talk about, it depends on weather conditions are depend on air temperature, air pressure, humidity as well as rain, fog, and the amount of clouds. Sometimes you say, oh, today it's very cloudy, but by afternoon you say, oh, thank God it's a sunny day. So the atmosphere keeps changing. Weather keeps changing. India shows a large diversity and characteristics in climatic conditions. Seasons change in some parts of the earth according to wind direction. So students, why do the seasons change in some parts of the earth? They change according to the wind direction. So the winds which change their direction according to season are called monsoon winds. We are going to study about these monsoon winds and all in this chapter. So this is about the monsoon winds. These winds are so named after an Arabic word mausim. So the monsoon winds are named after what? After an Arabic word mausim. Underline that, students. India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan and Myanmar are Asian countries which experience monsoon climate. Students, you know that we have seen earlier also, we are in Asian continent, and so since we are living in continent of Asia, the countries like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Myanmar, we experience a monsoon climate. Does it mean that whole year we have monsoon? No, students. And what is this word? This word is coming from the word mausim, which is an Arabic word. We in our dialect also, in our languages also, in your mother tongue also, many times you say mausam. Okay, mausam, mausim or monsoon. Now, social changes. Seasonal changes. What are these seasonal changes? Do you see the seasonal changes? And students, why are these changes? We saw season change in some parts of the earth according to the wind direction. So let's see. Can you see this picture over here? Have a look at this picture. We'll go to that picture afterwards. But see over here. Revolution of the earth around the sun and her axial tilt are major reasons for changes in seasons. So what is that? Revolution of the earth around the sun and her axial tilt are the major reasons for the changes in seasons. Make a bracket. Underline the word sun and her axial tilt. These are the major reasons, the main reasons. Now, what is that? The axis of the earth is tilted at 23.5 and makes an angle of 66.5 degree with the orbit. You know what is the orbit, no students? You can see the two figures over here. They are given. And how are they? They are tilting little bit at the axis. Axial tilt given over here as at its axis they are shown little bit of tilting. Now, seasons are caused due to the axial tilt. Regions receiving more sunlight experience summer, while regions receiving less sunlight experience winter. So students, when is the summer? The regions which receive more sunlight, they experience summer, whereas the regions which receives less sun, they experience winter. Sun rays fall vertically over Tropic of Capricorn. Students, you see the figure over here. This above part is a Tropic of Cancer. Then you have equator, and then you have the Tropic of Capricorn. So what is it said that the sun rays fall vertically? Vertically, students, you know how they are. Just as you said, the standing lines. So sun rays fall vertically over the Tropic of Capricorn on 22nd December. On 22nd December, when they are falling vertically. Students, you see this figure over here. 22nd of December, they fall vertically on the Tropic of Cancer. And then, so the southern hemisphere experiences summer. Southern hemisphere, that is, this is the northern hemisphere. You can see the north pole, southern pole. So the southern hemisphere experiences summer and the northern hemisphere experiences winter. Nights in India are longer and colder in winter. Nights in India are longer and colder in winter. You know that we also have winter. Similarly, the sun rays are vertical over the Tropic of Cancer. Sun rays are vertically over the Tropic of Cancer. You can see over here. Okay. The Tropic of Cancer on 21st of June. So the days are longer. You can see these two figures, 21st June and 22nd of December. 22nd of December, students, at the Tropic of Capricorn. And how are the sun rays, students? They are falling vertically over here. And on 21st of June, you see over here at the Tropic of Cancer. How are the sun rays? They are falling here also vertically on 21st of June. And the days are longer over here. The nights during the winter, the nights are longer. You can see this figure over here. You see the sun rays. Have a look at this. And so that is what the changing in seasons. We have the winter, long nights, and the days are shorter, whereas 21st of June and all, the days are longer, nights are shorter. You see the sun rays vertically falling on the Tropic of Cancer. That's on the 21st of June. You can see the southern pole, northern pole. Over here, 22nd of December, sun rays falling vertically, and that is nights are longer. Now let's see. Rotation and revolution of the earth have a direct impact on the food, clothing and residences of man. In monsoonal countries like India, the winter and summer monsoon winds, which change direction according to the season, affect the seasonal weather. They affect the seasonal weather. We saw weather is a short-term atmospheric condition and gives peculiar characteristics to the weather of every season. That is why the climate is called monsoonal climate. We saw the climate is a long-term condition. Okay, the long-term atmospheric condition, whereas weather is a short-term atmospheric condition. And so therefore, what is given over here? You see here, like in India, the winter and summer monsoon winds, which change direction according to the season, affect the seasonal weather. The weather keeps changing, gives peculiar characteristic to the weather of every season. Which seasons we have, students? We have summer, winter and we have summer, monsoon and winter. So that is why the climate is called monsoonal climate. Season of the here we saw according to the season affect the seasonal weather and give peculiar characteristic to the weather of every season. That is why, because of the peculiar characteristic, it is also called monsoonal climate. Now, variation in the climates of India. Variation in the climates of India. Let's see what is a variation. There are many variations in the climate of India. South India has a peculiar shape. South India has a peninsular shape. Hence, it experiences moderate maritime climate, while the climate becomes more continental while going away from the seashore. So, students, how is the change over here? There are many variations in the climate of India. Though we are in India, the climate, there is a variation, there is a change. Even the weather also. Sometimes in Ahmedabad, you may experience hot, strong sun, and the climate, the weather may be, there the temperature may be 38. Whereas in Bhavnagar, it may be 36. Being in the same state, it may vary. Over here, what we are saying, the climate of India, South India has a peninsular shape. We have studied that in the previous chapter. Hence, it experiences the moderate maritime climate. They are close to the ocean. While the climate becomes more continental while going away from the seashore. A large part of North India is away from the sea coast, so it experiences continental climate. What type of climate does it experience? Continental climate. And why? A large part of North India. Students will saw about the South India, peninsular shape. A large part of North India is away from the sea coast, and therefore it experiences the continental climate. The Tropic of Cancer passes almost through middle of India. Students, we have studied this also. I had explained it to you how when the Tropic of Cancer passes through the middle of India, area to the south of it falls to torrid zone, while the area of the north of it is in the temperate zone. So students, you should know this change. The Tropic of Cancer passes almost through the middle of India, and the area of south, it falls into the torrid zone. You remember the earth when I was explaining the globe and all, that is the time we saw it's in the torrid zone, whereas while the area to the north of it is in the temperate zone. As a result, there is a large difference in the temperature and rainfall in different parts of the country. So therefore, there is a large difference even in the same country, parts of the country. Example, temperature in Leh and Dras not in Kashmir is as low as minus 45 degrees Celsius during winter. Sri Ganganagar and Alwar in Rajasthan record 55 degrees Celsius high temperature during summer. So see the temperature. One is minus 45, the other is just records 51 Celsius high temperature during summer. Similarly, Cherrapunji in Meghalaya in East India gets about 1200 centimeter rainfall annually, which is the maximum in the world. See, please underline that. How much of rain does the Cherrapunji get? It is the 1200 centimeter maximum in the world. Okay. Now, where is Cherrapunji? Cherrapunji is in Meghalaya in the East India. Okay. Now, Mausinram about 16 kilometers away from Cherrapunji. We are talking about Cherrapunji, and now Mausinram, underline that, is famous for receiving maximum rainfall during 24 hours. Mausinram receives 16 kilometers away from Cherrapunji is famous for receiving maximum rainfall during 24 hours. In the west, the deserts of Rajasthan receive only 10 to 12 centimeter rainfall annually. See the wide difference between Cherrapunji and Rajasthan. Rajasthan gets maximum how much, students? Receives 10 to 12 centimeter of rainfall annually. Contradicting climate conditions are seen in a country when one region has devastating floods while the other faces a drought due to intense heat and scanty or absence of rainfall. Some regions face devastating effects of thunderstorms, sandstorms, and tropical cyclones. The seasonal weather has diversified effects. Students, sometimes you see maybe in Mumbai, Assam, or in Goa and all, high rain. Okay. Now, recently also we have been seeing that Andhra Pradesh and all, what is happening. But students, the other parts of the country are not receiving rainfall. So, due to climatic changes, seasonal changes, these are things are happening, and which also we saw. Why we saw it also? We saw the Tropic of Cancer and where it passes and all. We saw it over here, variation in the climate of India. How the variation takes place. The peninsular shape, hence it experiences the moderate maritime climate. They are close to the coastal area. Seacoast, whereas the North India is away from the seacoast and it experiences continental climate. The Tropic of Cancer passes to the middle of India, which we saw how it divides, and so therefore we have the torrid zone and the temperate zone experiencing different climate, which I already explained to you. And so students, this is how happens due to the climatic changes. Now, which are the factors that are affecting the climate? There are around 4 main factors which are affecting the climate, and they are latitude, distance from the sea, altitude, atmospheric pressure, and winds. Okay, so students, we are going to study about this tomorrow. I am going to stop the class over here.